Welcome to the Alumni Network event for October. I wanted to start by acknowledging that in the Pacific branch of the Attorney General's Department, we are meeting on the traditional lands of the Ngunnawal people and pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging, and pay respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people that we work here in the department. We're very pleased to have you today, Henty, Grace, to talk about the twinning project that you went through with us with your twinning project partners, Laura and Lauren from our Pacific branch. Pleased to have Lauren online as well. And as I said before, Laura passes on her sincere apologies that she can't be here, but passes on her very best wishes to you. What we'll do now, if it's all right with you, is I'll throw to you to go through a review of the Bail Act laws in Kiribati so that we can hear a bit about your experience of applying the legal policy development course that you did when you were a policy champion here with us in Canberra, to hear about how that assisted you with this twinning project. So without further ado, passing over to you, and thank you very much for your day, Henty Grace.
Thank you, Bree. Once again, everybody, Nauri from Kiribati. My name is Henty Grace Bine, and I am the Senior Legal Officer in the Office of Public Legal Service, or OPLS. We are under the portfolio of the Ministry of Justice here in Kiribati. Our office is commonly known as the Legal Aid for Kiribati, and we're sort of a blend between, or a combination of, public solicitor and public defender office, for those who are wondering. I am very fortunate to be given this awesome opportunity to be featured in this Alumni networking event online. And so just a big thank you to Bree and the AGD team for the invitation and for organizing this event. So thank you so much. And also I'd like to say just a quick thank you again to my twins, Laura and Lauren from the AGD, and of course my director, Rita Peniata, for their ongoing support for our project. So yes, thank you, Bree, for this opportunity again. And my presentation will focus on our project that we started working on when I joined the Legal Policy Training Program back in June this year, and that is reviewing bail laws in Kiribati. And also I'd like to talk about how the Legal Policy Training Program has helped us develop this project. So Bree, if you can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. Thank you. So I will be, of course, starting off with a little bit of our starting point back in June, and I'll take you through our journey of the policy paper for the project, what was the process like, and what we have achieved so far. But also I'd like to share a little bit of challenges or the setback that we faced during our time back in June, and also what we continue to face even up until now. And then I will close off the presentation with our plans of how to move things forward, how to keep things moving, and how to carry the project forward, and what our end goal will be. Next slide, please. Right, thank you. So when I first applied, I applied to the twinning program on behalf of OPLS, we applied with the hopes of developing draft instruction for Bail Act for Kiribati, and that's because we do not have a Bail Act at the moment. And that's, I would wanted to share with you all, that's the title of the project that we proposed in our application form. reforming pre-trial system drafting instructions for a bail act. But through the legal policy training, we learned that a very important first step is just obtaining information on the problem or the issue at hand. And so very early on in our training program, we kind of realized that this is not as simple and straightforward as it sounded. It's just come up with drafting instructions. No, we must take a step back and really study what's the issue first. And so we realized it was going to be a very complex task and one that will need a long time to develop and also to have it play. So as we were trying to figure out and understand the bill law reforms, I would also like to share that part of my experience in the training program is that I was very fortunate to have for my team, for my AGD team and my trainees to set up meetings for my project and to have the chance to talk with the experts there in Australia. For example, we had a meeting to discuss bail law reform in South Australia with legislative services. We also met with the Justice and Community Services, and we discussed the bail reform there in the ACT and the bail legislation compatibility with human rights. And we also had a chance to discuss as well with the office, I think it was the Office of International Law and Human Rights Unit. And we had this whole session with the people there in ACT and how they handle bail cases, and also a session with the which is like one of the highlights for me was a session with the president of the Australian Human Rights Commission. And so I just wanted to share that that's one of the highlights for me there as well, and how the team was very supportive and how they set up all these different meetings to help with the project to understand better the situation of the problem that we wanted to focus on. So yeah, thank you. And next slide, please. Okay, thank you. I do apologize if my side is a bit slow because due to the internet connection. But yeah, so we found out that Kiribati does have a bail system in place, right? So we do have bail provisions, but they are provided for in scattered pieces of legislations. For example, like some provisions are here in the different legislations, some are there. And so we also learned that there was a very broad discretion, or there was a very broad discretion given to authorities for granting or denying bail and for determination of what the bail conditions would be. And one thing about the legal policy training that really helped in that really helped in our project is that the legal policy training emphasized on the importance of uncovering and understanding stakeholders, because they would really assist in figuring out what the issue is from different point of views, and what would also we be needing for to develop our policy paper line. And so after a brief stakeholder consultation, it turns out like some of their issues they shared sounded more like I would say more like administrative issues or internal matters for the different organizations to solve, not something that would actually require developing a whole law reform, right? And so therefore we asked the big question, and this is what I always ask myself and my teams back in June when we were doing the training program, that wait a minute, do we want a bail act just because Kiribati don't have a bail act, right? This is like our big question, I guess. And so we needed to uncover what the issues are, and to help with that, we also compared and contrasted Kiribati provisions with two model acts in the Pacific, and those are very good as well. So the Bail Act from EG and Nauru. So we've also identified who our stakeholders are and the gaps that we found and from our gap analysis, and we realized that there are many issues with our bail process that definitely different stakeholders are facing right now. And also, I would also like to mention at this point in time that discussing the issue with OPLS, I was there in Canberra and we set up a few meetings with the OPLS team here, and they really helped to understand the situation more, especially what defense lawyers are facing in their bail applications. So yeah. Next slide, please, Bree. Also, yes. So why is the Bail Act needed at all? And we discovered that there are a number of issues with the current bail system. We have identified some of these in our policy paper back when, at the version that we ended up with. We came up with at the end of the training program, but we've also added more after that because we're still drafting, revising the draft and refining the draft paper. But some of the issues that we identified in the paper that people are remanded in custody where offending is very minor, and that people are also being denied bail and having to wait for trial for prolonged periods. So they remain in custody for prolonged periods of time. People are being released even when they pose a significant safety risk. And people or perpetrators or I would say accused are always breaching their bail conditions, and monitoring of bail is very inconsistent. And it's as we found out down the line, that it's monitoring of bail is a very big issue with our police service as well. And then this may be a result of lack of clear roles of relevant stakeholders. And also we identified that one of the issues is there's an inconsistency in the determination of bail conditions. But yes, I'm sure there are more and more as we continue on with our consultations, stakeholder consultations, and then we'll be adding this to the list. So yeah, so that's I think realizing that we have like all these sorts of challenges, and then I think that answered our big questions like, do we need a bail act? Like, yes, we do need a bail act. We need to reform bail provisions and come up with a better one that is that would ensure consistency. So yes, thank you, Bree. Can we go to the next slide? Right, thank you. So yes, this is like a very an important part of our of my presentation. I wanted to share. So I wanted to share with you some of the challenges that we came across, some setbacks during our training program, because this is. And I must say that some of these issues we continue to face even now, after months later, with the policy. And so yes, the first one I would say, sometimes some things just do not turn out as we want them or as we planned them. And one of them is that for stakeholder consultation, we contacted a few important stakeholders, and unfortunately at that time, back in June, we did not receive feedback from them. even after a number of follow-ups. And even now, some stakeholders, like it took a long time for them to get back to us with their feedback. And this is because our stakeholders are have very busy schedules, and that they travel a lot, and because they have huge load of cases, and I understand that. And also from that, I wanted to share that another challenge is that, well, something that we call competing priorities within organizations. And yeah, so that's one of the major, sorry, excuse me. Sorry about that. The group for the next meeting are here, but can just I'll just run through that. Yeah. Thank you, Bree. So yes. With all that, challenges, I think we keep pushing on, and I think we have come a long way. There's still so much to do. There's still much that's needed to be done after the twinning, because review of our bail law. So any law is an ongoing process, and it's never easy. But I am pleased to share with you that we're still continuing drafting or revising the draft policy that we came up with at the end of the twinning program, and that was a really big milestone for the team. And again, I'm so grateful for that. So for the Bail Act, in the policy paper, we proposed that why we need this Bail Act is that because it will, of course, ensure a level of consistency between the different stakeholders, especially the police and courts, where bail decision making is concerned. And also because this Bail Act will reduce the issue of delayed or prolonged trials and staying in remand for a prolonged period of time. And of course, it will help with the backlog of cases or decrease the number of backlog of cases. And also, as you may have seen in the previous slide, I mentioned that the lack of non-existence data, or the lack of data, was also an issue for us in developing the paper. And so in our proposal for the Bail Act, we stated that a standalone Bail Act will also improve data collection and information collection on bail matters. Okay. And so yes, we also have recommended that further consultation is needed to answer a few of the remaining policy questions proposed in the policy paper. So what's ahead? More drafting. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure this is like. It will not stop here, like drafting, and we're still drafting, and I'm so thankful that Laura and Lauren are still sending in through their comments and their feedback on where to improve, on where the gaps are that we need to fill in. And so yes, more drafting that's still going on, a lot of drafting, and extensive stakeholder consultation. So yes, I am pleased to say that we are planning like a big face-to-face consultation with our stakeholders when Laura and Lauren be here, visit Kiribati, and they'll be helping out with that as well. So yes, that's also something that we're looking forward to, extensive stakeholder consultation. And I think we will continue to collaborate with the twins, my twins, and the Pacific branch for guidance and support. So yes, we still have a long way to go, but I'm just so grateful for the support that we've gotten so far from both AGD and also from my director. So yes, I think the policy paper will ultimately inform the development of the cabinet paper, because of course we need cabinet's approval to start drafting the new bill. and for AG's department to start working on the drafting instructions for us. So yes, so those are the main things to look forward to. So I guess that's it from the side. Thank you. Can we go to the last slide, please? Thank you. Yes, so that's in Rapa, or I should say thank you very much. I'm just so very grateful, like, for Laura and Lauren to be still here with me, like, even after months, and for their patience, especially their patience, because sometimes I miss deadlines, sometimes I'm the one holding back the drafting, but I am just so very grateful for their ongoing support, their research skills and editing skills, and just for their mentoring and guidance. And of course, thank you for the whole team as well, back in the Pacific branch team, and for making the twinning program memorable for me. It's a really great experience for me. And also like to take this quickly just to say thank you to my team here, Nopialis, especially my director, if he's listening to this. Thank you for the support and your patience as well. And overall, I just love the experience that we had and the learning journey, for the fun and the memories. Yeah. So I think that's it for me. And again, thank you. Again, just a big thank you for me.